We're talking about the granddaddy of them all. And I think you have a one you want to start with?
I do.
Okay.
Um, Also, hold on, I want to make sure that I'm right. But ooh, that didn't sound good.
Well,
Um, so couple things. I figured I know I texted you late the other day. I had this idea of breaking down, WrestleMania on the twos since we are at 42. We could talk 32, 22, 12, and 2, breaking them down from most recent to past to give a little bit of nostalgia to the podcast here. And frankly, because I hate WrestleMania 32, I just want to get it out of the way.
it's terrible. The
Yeah,
two
it's
the
really, really
twos
bad.
are not a it's not very good, the twos.
I like WrestleMania 22 and WrestleMania 12.
I was gonna say besides those, and even those aren't like, I mean, 22 is my personal favorite,
Yeah.
but I mean in terms of like legendary moments and matches and things that people remember, not a whole lot.
Well, and I want to see the reason I wanted to do it was because I want to break down um these WrestleMania on the twos so that we can see when WrestleMania comes around if this WrestleMania is gonna be pretty forgettable, like I think it will be. It will be known as the WrestleMania that they just did Vegas 2 years in a row and called it good. But you had I think this was maybe the first of the Roman Reigns main events of WrestleMania, starting a long reign of Roman Reigns WrestleMania main events, but I could be wrong there. I know maybe no, because 31 was
31 was his first main event because he was going up against Brock.
yeah, and then you had Triple H this time around where Triple H won the championship in the Royal Rumble.
Right. And that was the first time that the WWE Championship was on the line in the Rumble match.
Yeah. You had the League of Nations defeating the New Day, but okay. I mean, the League of Nations was not the greatest, primarily because they involved Alberto Del Rio. Baron Corbin winning his debut main roster match though on with that Andre the Giant, the Battle Royale that they had.
Baron Corbin was
Total
supposed to
Divas,
be a huge. I remember Michael Cole saying on commentary one time that he was a future world champion.
yeah.
And wah, wah, wah.
Ryback and Kalisto was on this is the kickoff show, and I'm gonna start off from worst to best.
Okay.
Team actually no, Kalisto versus Ryback is probably the worst match of this entire night. On the kickoff show. Then you go into Team Total Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde.
I don't even remember who. I don't remember that.
Exactly. And then on the kickoff show, you had the 3-on-1 handicap match of the League of Nations defeating the New Day on the main roster show, or on the main show. You had the Usos and the Dudleys were on the kickoff show.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't remember that either.
no.
I
Um,
remember the Dudleys and the Usos, like, a little bit, but I don't remember that at WrestleMania, and especially not on a pre-show.
no.
Wow.
You had the fairly decent match between Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. That's where they unified the women's title again, just to separate it again a couple of years later. Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose. I remember being really excited for that match just for it to suck.
Yeah,
Same
that was
thing
a
with Chris
huge
Jericho and
disappointment.
AJ Styles. It was AJ Styles' first WrestleMania match.
And it was one of those, the both real quick on the Lesnar Dean Ambrose match. That was one of those where it was like the potential was so there, but for whatever reason they didn't mesh. And I think Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar also had that kind of potential. And for whatever, and I'm not saying it was that Samoa Joe and Lesnar, I don't even think it was an issue with
Never happened,
them.
really, right?
Well, they had, I think, one match at like Great Balls of Fire or something like that.
Uh,
But I remember Paul Heyman talking about it, saying that he wished they could have done so much more because Samoa Joe and Lesnar, that would have been, oh my God.
yeah.
But Vince was in charge and probably didn't see things the way that
We already have a big
old.
Samoan. His name is Roman Reigns, and he is the greatest thing we've ever seen before.
Yeah. But uh what was the other match?
AJ Styles and Chris Jericho, which
Yeah,
I feel
that
like
that
way
was
overhyped.
that was one that I was expecting to be like, you know,
Legendary.
yeah, like a Shawn Michaels Undertaker like type match just because both of them together, I mean, dream match, right? I don't think they'd ever
Yeah.
fought each other up
Yeah.
until that point. You have WrestleMania and all the hype because of that, and it just fell flat. And it's one of those things where I'm thankful it happened because now it's not like a dream match we never got to see. At least we
Yeah.
did get to see it. Hopefully, oh well, we can't because AJ retired. God damn it!
Yeah,
I was gonna say
smart play. I've
hopefully.
been thinking about that a lot. Smart play by the WWE to put him right in the Hall of Fame to keep him around a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Speaking of the Hall of Fame, best match of the night was the return of Shane McMahon and The Undertaker in the Hell in the Cell match.
I disagree, but that was a good one.
What do you think was the better match?
The triple threat with the women.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's fair. My favorite moment of the night was Zack Ryder winning the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then he
Yeah.
lost it the next day. I remember in the old days of Twitter, I was on Twitter watching WrestleMania 32, and everyone was commenting after he had won. They were like, "Congrats on your 24-hour championship reign. Hate to see you lose it tomorrow on Raw." And I was like, "No way!" And he ended up losing it.
He did. Which is all right. It was a nice moment. I hope he gets it again with the real championship one day.
Was
Not to
he?
say that the Intercontinental Championship isn't a real championship, but to like I do feel like Matt Cardona as the heavyweight championship owner, or the heavyweight champion at some point would be really good.
What is up with WWE not? We saw the clip in Unreal of Triple H going up to Jey Uso. I want to strap a rocket to your back.
Yeah.
Why isn't he giving that to the power couple of the pro wrestling universe with Chelsea Green and can you imagine Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona against Seth and Becky?
Awesome. I think them and versus Cody and Brandy would be good. I think them versus um I'd like to see them versus Rusev and Lana. I feel like that would be so entertaining. The Miz and Maurice would be so entertaining.
Actually, the Miz and Maurice I would like to see more than
Um,
yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you saw because I know you. I don't know if you saw the segment with the Miz and Danhausen, how they're gonna put the Miz and Danhausen together right away.
That's genius.
I am so excited for that.
The Miz is the Miz has taken up this space where he's not the most important. He's not even like remotely important to
No,
the card. But he's now because he's a veteran, he's able to not wrestle but still be important. Kind of like how R-Truth was more like he was there to be funny and to what's the word? Not cause problems, but like I don't he's kind of like
antagonist.
Danhausen. Danhausen
Yeah,
was in AEW not having matches, but he was involved with things that were going on storyline wise. And I
yeah.
think Miz is that same kind of
Adding an
character.
extra element to each thing.
Yes.
Speaking of R-Truth, I hate the idea of R-Truth and Damian Priest going for the tag team championships
But I was thinking the other day about the where Damian Priest was and where he is now and what happened.
in the last year.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily that the people like turned against him or anything. It's just
I don't think they have anything for him.
they haven't put him anywhere interesting really. I mean, we'll see. I mean, they're look at Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Didn't think they'd work out, but they worked out, the way they're working out.
They have right now WWE has five men I can think of at the top of my head that they just don't have anything for. that have so much going on that they could have something for. Like you have Cardona and Damian Priest, Aleister Black, Rusev, and really like they keep doing this stuff with Johnny Gargano, but I don't think there's a plan behind it.
It's a lot of like, which it's so weird that none of these guys have plans because there's so many titles that you could, I don't know. I feel bad for these guys because they have so much potential, but even before all these guys were in AEW, after they were in WWE, and then they all came back, it's just like they're in eternal mid card.
Yep.
And it's not bad. Like someone's got to be in the mid card. I'm not mad that they're not, competing for the world title, but how can you let someone like Aleister Black just not have the coolest storyline? You
Well,
know,
and here's part of my issue with it too, and a lot of people are saying it's the reason for behind so many injuries. They don't do the house shows anymore. And a big reason I
Mm,
like the house shows aspect is because that's where WWE had the opportunity to test out different matches to different storylines to see how they reacted in it with the crowd and really giving these mid-card guys a spotlight where you could fill up a card of mid-carders or people are still we're still going to go to it and give them the opportunity to show, look, this is how hard I'm working, everything like that. Now they don't have that.
yeah. It's a weird balance because, a lot of the criticism, especially like from outside the wrestling world, and then a lot of, fans who think they have wrestlers' best interests in mind, they would say that, well, the house shows are the reason why we don't get to go home and see our families and why we're on the road 300 days a year.
Yeah.
But
But if
you're right.
WWE,
Everything that the benefits of characters and developing wrestlers into something more on a week to week basis, I think has to happen on house shows, unless not everyone can be, you know, hitting Grand Slam 316 promos every single week on Raw and proving why they deserve the top spot. That would be chaos.
I I would love it if WWE would allow their wrestlers, very similar to what AEW does, to do independent shows. There could be rules behind it, very regulated, but allow them to just go out there and, do their own shows, give like even a little cutback to the WWE if that's the case. Um,
Do you think we're more likely to see that, or do you think we're more likely to see maybe this can what I'm getting at is maybe what I'm about to say effectively does what you're talking about. But you have like they bought AAA. So Dom's going down to AAA with the El Grande Americanos,
yeah.
and he's doing that stuff. And then they bought Evolve, and they bought let's say they buy somewhere in the UK or they buy somewhere in India or something. Maybe they correct me if I'm wrong, but Triple H wanted NXT to be like the minor league developmental system of WWE, but he wanted it to be global. That's why
Yeah.
you had Black and Gold and UK. And I think at some point they were going to make
An
in
India one.
India one.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe Aleister Black isn't, the big thing or the big draw on SmackDown or Raw, but maybe Aleister Black is like the NXT overlord or something like that. Maybe
I like it, and I like the idea of even using TNA as something where they could go and do that
yes.
too. But I think that there's a significant more amount of booking involved in that than there would be for them to, be allowed to work a one night only Dream Slam show or a one night only, GCW show or a one night only, Juggalo Championship Wrestling show where you have the Grande Americano showing up there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they need to do something to highlight the massive people that they have on their roster that they're just and AEW is just as guilty. I mean, we've talked a million times over. I mean, they do allow it to an extent, but talked a million times over about the amount of people that are not used in AEW. And I'm sure some of it, like the reason we don't see Keith Lee at this point too, is just because I'm sure that there's the clauses in their contract saying, "Hey, you can't do this, you can't do that, yada yada yada." But that's just me assuming. Um, I don't know what they're where these people lie. I don't know what this is. I have a feeling that they're gonna, you know, probably do that the big battle royal again the night before WrestleMania, and that's where we'll see all of these people, and that will be the extent of the stories.
Well, I wanna touch on the card for this WrestleMania, but I want to make sure we finish with WrestleMania 32. So is there any other
That was
matches?
it. No, there's
Okay.
nothing else. Oh, The Rock and
Oh, The
John
Rock with
Cena.
a 45-minute long
Yeah,
entrance and a flamethrower.
yeah, fighting the Wyatts, Rock and John Cena in the 6 minute match or 6 second match.
Breakaway sweatpants.
Yeah,
Didn't he get hurt
I think
doing
he did
that rock
hurt there
bottom
too.
and they
Yeah,
had to like delay Conan or something, whatever movie he
yeah.
was in? Classic. All right, well, let's talk about WrestleMania 42, the one that's taking place here in just a couple weeks. Reminder to everyone, we will be out in Vegas pretty much for a whole damn week. We have buttons, we have stickers, we have hats, we have shirts, we have wipes, we have deodorant. I think you said you're getting bottle openers,
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
but most importantly, you're gonna have us and our hot wives and our two other friends
Yep.
at WrestleCon. So be sure you find us. We'll be at well, you'll be at WWE World. We're going to some
Thursday,
GCW shows. We're gonna be on
Thursday
the
morning.
Strip. We're gonna be all over. So if you're out in Vegas, make sure you look for us. But let's talk about this card because it's starting to shape up. I have 5 matches written down so far. Let me know if I'm missing any. We have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton for the world title. Drew now versus Jacob Fatu. I accidentally wrote Solo Sikoa. Jacob Fatu. We have Liv Morgan, who won the Royal Rumble, going up against Stephanie Vaquer. Jade Cargill versus Rio, which I'm shooter kayfabe. I'm having a hard time with that one. I'm gonna say kayfabe.
Yeah.
And then we have Punk and Roman Reigns. Am I
I feel
missing
like it
any?
would be hard to, sorry, I feel like it would be hard to dislike Rhea Ripley. Like having met her a couple times and had a conversation with her, like I know that she's probably putting on a face for fans, but like in interviews and stuff like that, I feel like Rhea Ripley's like one of those people that are just so cool that's not like nobody's gonna have problems with them.
It's hard to dislike her, like Rey
Yeah,
Mysterio or Mick Foley, something
exactly.
like that. Yeah. But I think you saying that just makes me want to see Jade just, not that she hasn't, but I just want to see her be like the biggest heel of all time because you have a crazy good baby face like Rhea Ripley. So make it personal. Even if it looks like a shoot, like go out in public and talk shit on each other in a way that blurs the lines of character and not character.
Like The Miz and Daniel Bryan.
Exactly.
That's the perfect example of that, in
And
my opinion.
we saw a little bit with what Rhea put on her Instagram story about how she's not having fun, blah blah blah. So,
Yeah.
you know. Okay, am I missing any other ones? We just got five
Um,
matches so far?
yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna well, you said Liv and Stephanie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then I think Raquel Rodriguez gets thrown into that.
I would like to see that. We talked about that a little bit before.
Yeah, I think that's where
Um,
we're heading.
Now the tag team championships. I feel like you could just have two big ass ladder matches. I wouldn't want that to happen. I feel like that's bound to happen
Oh, I
because that's
totally want
usually
that
what
to happen.
two of them.
Well, I think we do the Wyatts versus the MFTs. I think that is gonna happen again, a 5-on-5 kind of multi-man match there. Um How they do that still, I don't know because they need to add one more person to the Wyatts. I honestly think Matt Hardy coming over for one night and joining the Wyatts would be awesome.
How you get
Uh,
Matt Hardy there and not Jeff? Because no offense to Matt Hardy, he's one of the greats. But that's like
you have Matt
Devon
Hardy.
showing up without Bully.
You have Matt Hardy in the match, and Jeff Hardy kind of just like there. I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
I don't think you bring Jeff Hardy into WrestleMania and you don't get a Swanton Bomb.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I do think that they
Why don't you put Danhausen in it? Or would that take away from
that
the
takes away
serious
from
spook
the
factor?
yeah, it
Okay.
takes away from the mystique. Um, yeah, and I think you go Raw Tag Team Championships, multi-man match, ladder kind of thing. And I don't know what they do. You know, you could I could who is the US champion? I can't even tell you.
Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
I know Penta's the IC champion.
Right now, you have Carmelo Hayes. He's been champion since
That's right. He does
2025.
the US Open challenge. That's right. I did know that. I could see them doing them running back Carmelo and Ilya for like a WrestleMania pre-show match for that.
Would it be weird if Joe Hendry accepted the challenge?
Um, I yeah, because Joe Hendry's the NXT champion.
It's
So,
weird that
last
the
night.
it's weird that the NXT championship is a little more prestigious than the United States championship.
You know what?
It's
Speaking,
not, but it like I know why it is, but it's just a weird, you know.
they really teased Joe Hendry a lot coming to the main roster just to put him on the NXT champion as the NXT champion, and there's only two reasons I could think of why. One is that they needed some star power on NXT. But two is I don't know if Joe Hendry's wrestling is there, or at least maybe they don't see that it's there. I mean, he's the perfect character.
What would you, okay, if Joe Hendry was put on the main roster, how is he not in the same pool as
Good
Rusev and
point.
Aleister Black and all that?
Yeah, it's a good point. And now they
This,
have Danhausen as a comedy character. I don't know. It's a good point.
it's, I think WWE is getting a little rotation-y. Like you mentioned earlier, how we talk about AEW, it's kind of, they're walking a tightrope here.
They are?
And I mean, so let's say Carmelo Hayes is doing his open challenge. Now we're at 7 matches. Only two of them are tag team matches. Uh, I think it's likely that you put Raquel in there because now you have a triple threat for a championship. Um, none of these are. Well, you have Drew and Jacob. Do you think there will be any stipulation of that, or you think it's just going to be one on one?
I think it'd be one on one. And I think they're doing it as a consolation just to end it.
Okay. We
But they
have
haven't, I just looked right now. They haven't announced that yet. But that's what's coming.
we have Seth Rollins back, but he's taken out everyone that he had a problem with.
I think that um Braun Breaker comes back. I think he's back. Or they let him wrestle hurt.
What if you threw because Seth, the whole thing with the vision was he was gonna take over Raw and rebuild things the way that, he's the architect. He had the title. What if Seth, he's got Heyman out, he's got the rest of the Vision guys out. They're not really a threat to him anymore. What if he weaseled his way in to Punk versus Roman and you get a rematch triple threat?
I don't want that match. Oh, we forgot about Brock Lesnar, but I don't want that match unless Brock Lesnar's involved.
How so? How so? Or why? Why I should say
because then you have every person that Brock Lesnar managed, or
that
not
Heyman
Paul
managed.
Heyman, yeah, Paul Heyman managed in the match.
Do you think when did we last see Heyman and Lesnar together? Was it when
The last time Lesnar just showed up, he's managing both of them. So I could see Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar too, honestly.
that
Now
would
that he
be
took out
that
Paul
would be a
Heyman,
rematch from what, 6 or 7 years ago?
I don't think WWE cares. I think they expect the fans to not remember.
And I think there's enough new fans or the corporate TKO structure is
Yeah,
catering to not people like you and me who would remember, but catering to an audience who it's indifferent whether or not they've had a wrestling match before
yeah,
at a WrestleMania.
and I don't know who else outside of Obafemi you have answer Brock Lesnar's challenge. So,
Who would you
uh,
want? Would you want Obafemi over Seth to take on Brock?
no, I don't think Brock Lesnar should ever lose ever again unless it's his last match to Gunther.
No, I'm saying who would you rather him wrestle?
Well, I don't know Obafemi, but I think Brock Lesnar loses both of those matches is the problem. I want to see Brock Lesnar wrestle Gunther and be done because we don't have anything for Gunther yet either.
We don't have anything for Gunther. Do we have anyone who is close to retiring?
Um,
Besides Randy Orton, who's in the main event for the fucking championship?
our truth.
If they put Gunther in a match with R-Truth at WrestleMania, I don't think I'd ever watch WWE again. They're lucky I'm even going this far. They're lucky I'm driving to Vegas and even being within. They're lucky.
I mean, the story's there. You took out John Cena. Let's see if you could take out Ron Cena.
Why can't we do that at a fucking
Well,
Unforgiven or
let
something?
me let me ask you this because I know we're cutting it close on time. We found out it's Cody versus Randy.
Yes.
Couple of options here for Cody and Randy for Cody to turn heel. Do you think they turn Cody heel before WrestleMania? What's the probability of SmackDown being in Phoenix this week and then that's when they turn Cody heel? Am I missing out? Like, am I risking it by not going?
Okay, we have learned over the last like year and a half, 2 years, you aren't missing shit by not going. So I would be shocked if that changed tonight. What I think could happen, because they did it last year with the heel turn, or with Heyman
John
turning,
Cena.
you know, I think Cody turns heel at WrestleMania
Yeah, then
because
that's it.
Cody or Punk has to turn heel.
That's a good point.
I think that has to happen at
Yeah.
some point
Because you
because
already have the two anti-hero style characters going at each other. You can't have both Randy and Cody being good guys.
it's too much.
Yeah.
So but there's that not risk, but how do you not tell a teacher versus student Obi-Wan Kenobi Anakin story when you have Randy and Cody going at it at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
So part of me thinks, you got to turn Cody soon so that WrestleMania there's, all this anticipation. But I think about the shock factor of Cody turning heel at WrestleMania against Randy.
It's tough.
What would you do? Or do you leave Cody face and you turn Punk?
I still would have done Cody and Roman.
Little three-peat?
Yeah, I just don't like the build that we got to get here, and I don't know what this means for Sami Zayn in general because Sami Zayn is involved in every segment that has to do with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. So it's like maybe somebody's gonna take out Sami Zayn to prove a point or something like that, and Sami Zayn gets involved. I don't know. Tom Brady's gonna be at WrestleMania, so maybe they'll have Tom Brady be the champion or the guest referee at this point. I don't know. It all sucks.
If Tom Brady's at WrestleMania, dude, this would be the biggest match of the whole night. And I'm saying this. We're going over the whole card. The match I'm about to say, which we've already mentioned before, would pale in comparison to every single match that we just talked about. Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny. Tom Brady is the referee. It's like celebrity death match, dude.
It would. Yeah, I mean, it would.
Tell me that wouldn't be a
It'd be
hey,
what everybody is talking about for the wrong reasons, but it
well,
would be.
we're not getting any subscriptions because of that match.
Yeah.
All right. Well, buddy, we are, like you said, we are running close on time. I think the wheels are turning here for WrestleMania. I've been giving them a lot of shit. If they can start telling these stories, then I'll start to think of it as less than a glorified regular pay-per-view. Because
Yeah.
ever since the takeover, the TKO takeover, that's what every event has become, in my opinion. In my opinion.
You're speaking of paying to watch things, really quick. Yesterday was mine and Lexi's anniversary, and what we did is we watched a new movie called Dolly, which is completely bloody and gory, but
Yeah.
stars independent wrestling superstar Max the Impaler. I don't know if you know who that is, but Max the Impaler is nuts. Um, with that being said, there's your indie spotlight for this episode. Max the Impaler did a phenomenal job in Dolly.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
wanted
everyone, that
Before I forget, I wanted to say that because that was on my mind.
you say what you got to say. We got 3 minutes if you want to say anything else.
Um, Follow us everywhere. HITFPOD.
That's right. That's right. Subscribe, comment, tell us which WrestleMania match you are most excited for, or what match you think we will see that hasn't been booked yet. If you want to make it interesting, I'll bet you $5 if I think it's good enough. All right. Okay, everyone. We'll see you on the next one. Later.
Later.